Letters fly off a spinning globe from the US, UK, and Australia to spell SGK Studios present an audio pizza production.
It's that time of year. Snow is in the air unless you're in Australia. There's Christmas music, and we're going to talk about all things Holiday Gift Guide coming up next on Audio Pizza. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Audio Pizza. It is the season of giving. There is the hint of spice in the air from your mulled cider on the stove and pine-scented Christmas trees and wreaths and candles. It is a jolly time, and we're here to talk about those wonderful things about busy malls, Black Friday deals, the crowds. Oh, well, I'm kind of losing the moment, aren't I? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it's the Holiday Gift Guide edition. This kayaker here in New England where the snow is falling gently. Sorry, I have to bring that in because it's the painting a picture. Paint a picture for the audience.
No weather.
And somewhere in the shed of Manchester is Sean. How are you, Sean?
The Christmas shed, Santa's shed grotto. Yes. Hello, kayaker.
Now, have you donned the top with little blinking lights like Snoopy did in Charlie Brown Christmas? Or is the shed looking festive, is what I'm asking?
No, absolutely not. It's looking disheveled, and I suppose it could look Dickensian, as in it looks like a slum. But, yeah, you set a lovely scene there, kayaker, I've got to say. Do you have spiced cider, or is in it spiced wine?
I was wondering about that too.
Thank you.
Although I can't talk yet.
No, you can't.
So
Sorry. No, wait a minute. I'll introduce. And of course, in lovely, festive Australia, it's Garth. Hello, Garth.
Hello, Sean. Hello, Kaika. Yeah, this is very much not snowy weather down here in the southern hemisphere, of course.
Don't talk about the weather.
How does Santa's sleigh land and get around without snow? That's what I want to know.
Jumbucks.
Jumbucks? Is that like a type of kangaroo?
Is that a candy?
Is a jumbuck a kangaroo or a sheep? I'm not sure. Anyway, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
I won't. I worry about the children down there. I just worry about them,
Oh, they get their gifts. Good. Don't you worry. Santa makes it here however he does.
Good. Gifts. And that's why we're here. God, I'm bringing it back on track. For the gift guide. It's a bit of a audio pizza tradition, really.
It is. It is.
I don't know how useful it is, but,
Oh, look, come on. The famous episode where I recommended a tray, it's gone down in legend.
Well, it has, as in kayaker never stops bringing it up.
I know.
But, okay, let's very quickly get back on track. Now, when we say gifts, we're trying to steer away from the obvious stuff, right? I say it's a bit like Desert Island Discs. That's a very long-running radio show here in the UK, but I'm sure lots of people know about it around the world. Where someone, is stranded on a desert island and they get to keep 10 records with them or whatever, but they get some givens. And I think, for the gift guide, for the blind world, I think there's some tech gifts, or not even tech, just gifts that we say they're a given, right? They're a default.
Okay.
I think we all agree on one of them straight off the bat,
do.
Right?
We absolutely do.
Battery packs.
No, it wasn't. Oh, no. Well,
really?
Well, yes, but no.
How is that not part of the given?
There is even a bigger given that just came out.
It's a new given.
It's a new given.
It's a new given.
And it is, drum roll please, Sean.
It is, of course, the Meta Ray-Ban glasses.
Yes.
I think when we came up with a gift guide, I think that was the first thing we all said. Right, no one recommend the Meta Ray-Bans because it's just,
it's a given.
At the moment, it is a given. Yeah, in our community, it's the things that cause the most excitement. Everyone wants to try them out, especially now with the Be My Eyes integration.
Yes.
And look, I'm not here to say they're terrible or, everyone's getting overrated because I don't think so. I think they're absolutely fantastic.
No. That's why they are a given.
They are a given. Yes, if you haven't tried them yet, I will say I love them, and not for the AI, which is what I initially thought I was going to go crazy about. but actually I don't care less about the AI. Currently here in the UK, it keeps being turned on and off and on and off. Currently, I can use it does say the Meta AI is enabled, and I can ask it, what's the tallest building and all that gumph, but I cannot say, look and describe. It won't. It says this feature is not thing. And I thought, that's going to be a real pain. Shall I get a VPN again? But you know what? I just haven't bothered, because for me, the Meta Ray-Bans aren't about the AI, at least in its current version. The thing is, though, it's about the WhatsApp video calls, Messenger, if you use the Messenger service, the ability to call someone and get assistance. That is amazing. And with the Be My Eyes, it is just so easy to do. That, for me, is why I think the Meta Ray-Bans are a given.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been fortunate to be working with Be My Eyes and Meta even before it was public, and watched the product grow, and it is phenomenal. The point of use of just being able to invoke it hands-free is huge. It takes me back to the original Ira integration, where you sort of had the glasses on and you had all your hands free. You didn't have to hold your phone up. And that's what I think is the biggest selling point of the Meta Ray-Bans at this point. The integration is done well, and it works. Well. It's the holy grail. It's not there's not a kludge where you're going through WhatsApp. It is a seamless integration. You invoke it and it works, and you've got your agent. And I've had great success with it. And now that it's public and live, I can't recommend it any higher than I'm doing it. And I think we all agree. Sean, you have the glasses, and Garth, do you have the glasses yet or not?
Yes, I've had them for a little while, and I had my first opportunity to use Be My Eyes on them the other day in the shopping centre, and it was, as you say, it was completely seamless. Hey, da-da-da, Be My Eyes, and there was a person willing to tell me that, yes, the counter was just to my left, which is where I hoped it would be, and it was. So it was great.
Don't you find it amazing? Right, because I've been using it a lot. And that's another thing that's amazing, by the way. We've had Be My Eyes for years and years and years on the phone. Yeah, I use it all the time now. It's on my glasses. I mean, just walking down the street, I'm slightly, I'm sure there's a lot of cars on the pavement here. I'll just jump on Be My Eyes. It's just so easy to do. Now you haven't got to pull the phone out of your pocket. Not that that's particularly hard work to do anyway. But I'm using it all the time. But I still find it amazing that the volunteers, by and large, are really good.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm assuming there's no onboarding training when you sign up. I don't know. I haven't gone through the process myself, as I'm a sighted. But, I mean, there's been, very rare occasions where I've had someone where I thought, you're not very good at giving me information. But on the whole, it's a fantastic service from the volunteers.
Well, I think if you're signing up for the service as a volunteer, you must have some interest or experience with a blind individual. It's not something that a normal person would just stumble across, I don't think. So I think that the people who are volunteering must have some sort of link to someone. I always assume that,
yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Look, I haven't used it all that much yet. And that, we've had access to that for a week or couple of weeks now. And I've only used it the once. And partly that's because there is still, for me, a little bit of a stigma or something. I know Geordie had a bad experience with Be My Eyes early on, not with Meta, but, prior to that, where she tried to use the service and got someone who's like, oh, why did you call me at this time of day, sort of thing, who was sort of resentful and made it known that they were resentful about receiving the call.
Absolutely ridiculous.
And absolutely, they had complete control over when they received those calls and when they were open for it. They obviously just hadn't set that up, I guess. And so I've been a little bit reluctant as well, Sean, and I know I've heard you say that you sort of felt that same way as well, but from your experiences have completely found the opposite with 99% of the people you've spoken to.
Oh, absolutely. Let me be clear. I haven't had any experiences like that where the person was actively rude like that. I've had experiences where, for example, I called someone the other day and they answered and they went, oh, hello, as I make all my calls. Hello, I'm Sean. Have you got a couple of minutes? I'm not very well. It's like, okay, where do I go with this? I said, okay, shall I find someone else? No. And they were fine after. Mm-hmm. But I've had The few experiences I've had where it's not been great is just they're not great at giving me information about something coming up or left or right. You know, the usual things that we experience all the time. But again, very rare. The reluctance that I had with Be My Eyes is just actually taking up someone's time. I always felt, do I really need someone? So I just get Seeing AI, you know. The fact of the matter, now it's just on my glasses and I don't have to do anything. It's just like the other day I was packing for a trip and I just, because I had my glasses on, it was just, you know what? Hey, doodah, Be My Eyes. And I was able to just pick out the black shirts or what's on this T-shirt in my wardrobe and just went through it so quick and with such a nice person.
Wait, I thought all your shirts were black, so there was no issue.
They are, yes, exactly. I just wanted to...
It's just, what do they have written on them, though? You want to keep the swearing to a minimum when you're going on a work.
Exactly right, yeah. But, you know, in other ways, I would have used Seeing AI, which kind of works sometimes and kind of don't, and then you got to pull them out and put them in front of her, and lay them on the bed or whatever and make sure you... So... yeah, I just think now that they're on the glasses, and it's just purely because of the hands-free convenience of it all, I'm using it all the time. That reluctance have gone.
Yeah, that's great.
Plus, I've been talking to the volunteers afterwards because I was on the beta as well with Kayaker there. And I was talking to the volunteers and saying, you know what, how long have you been on and how many calls have you got? And lots of people, I've been on 2 years and you're only my second or third call.
Yeah.
I was saying, doesn't that put you off? I said, no, I really get excited when I get a call. So the volunteers are there actually waiting. And, on the flip side of that, there's us saying, I don't really want to take up someone's time for something that I don't feel is that important. So, but no, I'm using it all the time. God bless you, volunteers.
Yeah, thank you.
Ditto.
I do appreciate it.
That's great. And I will point out that there are lots of different styles of the Meta Ray-Ban glasses.
Yeah. I got to say as well, you know what? I just love them as the audio is great as well. Just as a pair of audio sunglasses, they are the best ones I've had so far. Up there with the Bose.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't want to be navigating your phone too much for me. I find it a little bit annoying navigating the phone because it's got that sort of Bluetooth lag that you don't really get with the AirPods.
Yeah.
But for just listening, and for me, honestly, I'm taking a little while to get used to wearing glasses all the time because I've never sort of worn glasses. I still feel a little bit sort of like my nose gets a bit like feels funny, and so it's just getting used to that having glasses on, which I'm finding a bit difficult.
Oh yeah, so's my family. I've already been told, why are you wearing those all the time? You look like get ready for the beep prick, as my daughter said, which was nice.
Wow, nice. Yeah, sweet, very sweet.
I just said, get over it. I'm wearing them all the time. You know what? I've come to that level. It's interesting. Being an RPer, I never wore sunglasses, so I always wanted as much light crammed into my eyeballs as possible. But since there's no difference now, I can't see my hand, any hand movement or anything now. So, I wear them all the time. In the pitch black, in the rain. I like to tell myself I look cool. But you know what? I don't care. They're just very useful.
Well, that was the low-hanging fruit of what's the most obvious. There's a couple other low-hanging fruits, right, that are pretty obvious as well, and I'll bring that up next. To me, it's AirPods, right? The AirPods 4 and the AirPods Pro 2s, I think, are also great things for someone who's blind and mainstream, and unblind. They're great headphones, and depending on what your preference is, whether you want the sort of seal, get the Pros. If you sort of want the old style ones that sort of sit in and you can still get some ambient sound because they don't seal your ears. The 4s are great. They both have noise canceling, and it's just a personal preference. But I am using my 4s all the time now. It's great.
I swap between the 4s and the Pro 2s, and the thing I like about the Pro 2s is the volume on the stem. So I kind of miss that a bit when I have the 4s.
Yeah, I have that problem too. I'm like, why isn't the volume going?
A little bit better noise reduction with the Pro 2s, more convenience with the volume control on the stem, as compared to more comfortable, for me at least, with the 4th gen. And, both very, very cool. And, comparing to the Meta glasses, less of that Bluetooth lag that you get with some Bluetooth devices.
Oh, yeah. I don't think there's any lag in using the phone with the AirPods. They've got that pretty well.
Not appreciable. Not appreciable.
Okay, you two. You're gushing over the AirPods here. When do you use them, Kayaker? Now, Garth, I know you travel a lot, right? So I'm guessing you use them mainly for travel, but when else do you use them?
The AirPods?
Are you talking about when do we use the noise cancellation?
No, just the
specifically,
AirPods.
or just generally?
Just generally.
All the time.
Daily.
Yeah,
I never have plugged in once. I never use wired AirPods anymore.
Nor do I.
Well, because there's no damn headphone jack.
Oh, you kicked him off already.
Oh,
Triggered.
my God.
Can I just say,
Look,
I don't use any.
For the last couple of generations of phones, I had Lightning ones, and now I've got a USB-C AirPods, but I typically
And you
don't
use them just when you're walking around the house?
Because...
The normal AirPods,
Yeah,
yes.
because I think it's incredibly... Have you ever been to... Okay, Sight Village. How many times do you hear voiceover, blarping out of people's phones all over the place? That annoys me to no end. Put a headphone in and keep it private.
What are you
What kind of-
talking about? Honestly.
I'm talking about that kind of blindy, and here I am being super judgy. That kind of blindy that uses their iOS device out loud in public, really loud, so that the whole world can hear exactly what they're
Yes.
doing. It's kind.
Hello, that's me.
To me, it's no.
Why?
Put some
Don't be ashamed.
darn
Blind pride,
AirPods /
brother
earpods in.
and sisters. Sexist. There's nothing wrong with a bit of voiceover action. Love
You
it.
know what the equivalent is?
What?
It's
What?
like, okay, everyone, look at this. Look at what I'm doing. Look at what I'm doing. I don't know. It's just,
Oh,
it's kind of annoying.
there's a bit of a trigger.
It's really
See,
annoying.
Okay,
Yes.
well, that answered my question. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, I don't, funnily enough, since the demise of the 3.5 headphone jack, I never use headphones. I used to always have...
Don't give him more.
I know, I've got to be
Yet
honest.
another reason why to include the headphone jack.
I never use headphones. It always used to be one headphone in my ear all the time, the blind uniform.
Yes.
Since the USB-C, I just, don't use them. And I've got some AirPod Pros, first gen. I use them when I'm traveling, and that's about it. I don't use them when I'm out and about. And if my family want to shout at me for having voiceover going, then fine. Don't mix with other people. That's what I'm saying.
No, I don't know. I've always been in the habit of having some kind of headphones in. And look, it's only been in the last 12 months or so that I've sort of gone over to AirPods pretty much exclusively. Prior to that, I would still mostly use AirPods, Lightning or USB-C as the case may be, because I don't even remember what a 3.5mm jack looks like. That's not true at all, of course. But anyway.
You always have a broken pair of AirPods in your pocket.
Going to the Apple store.
Every,
Yes.
Go to the
every
Apple
time you
store,
walk
get them
past an
replaced.
Apple store,
Exactly.
you get a new replacement
That's
pair.
one of the most wonderful things about AirPods. They don't break as often as the EarPods did.
Okay.
Well, I beg to
Because I
differ on that.
always had them
Yeah,
in.
No.
I always had AirPods in, and be wearing jeans or work trousers or whatever, and they would get squished, and they would break quite regularly. Whereas the AirPods don't tend to break. But what I will say is they are more unreliable in that audio will suddenly be coming out of your phone instead of your AirPods, and you'll have to start playback of a book or something to force audio back to the AirPods, which is a bit annoying. I know, people have trouble with connections, starting a phone call, they can't hear you at first or whatever.
The AirPod microphone can be, wow, that sounds great. And other times, oh, that sounds terrible. It's very
I know,
inconsistent.
It is, yeah.
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 But
it is, yeah.
I agree with you though. I think it's okay. It gets the Sean tick that it can be on a given list because they are the best earbuds out there, bar none.
Especially for us when you're talking about the latency issue. I think Apple has...
Latency,
Yeah.
transparency, the noise cancellation, all great features.
Great.
Absolutely.
Is there another one on the given list, or are we going to move on?
Look, I already mentioned it earlier. Battery packs.
Yes.
Everybody loves a battery pack. We use our phones so much that we need battery packs. Well, actually, do we need them so much anymore? Phones have got so good lately that
Well, I think you still
I don't
do,
really-
but you can use a smaller battery pack, and I think that's a great choice. And, one of my biggest complaints with the loss of the headphone jack was that you were using your Lightning connector for, wired headphones to avoid that latency issue. And you couldn't charge your phone at the same time, and GPS would drain the battery. But there are several products out there that make extremely slim 5,000 milliamp battery packs that are so tiny. It's like they're smaller than the little wallets that go in the back of your MagSafe things that hold a couple credit cards. It's, they're fantastic. And I still use them. And now that I have a battery pack like that, it's one of my biggest gripes about the headphone jack is kind of alleviated because it's so convenient to do the wireless charging now through these tiny battery packs. And I know a lot of people say, get the max for the battery life. I'm like, don't get the max. You're paying for the screen. Just buy a second battery, and when you need it, just pull it out. It's still lighter than the max. They're great. Can't recommend them enough.
I'm totally on your camp with that. With like, if you can't see the screen, don't buy the biggest phone. But look, we all have our choices. That what's important to us. For me, I'm just going to get the normal Pro, not the Pro Max. And hey, if I need an extra bit of battery, I'll add a battery to it for the time that I need it. Not have to have this bigger phone for the whole time.
I'm with you there.
But
well, as someone who's got the Pro Max, I feel oppressed. How dare you?
Did you choose that?
I chose it for the battery life. All day battery life. Don't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, okay.
But
so again, faulty logic from Sean. Yes.
No.
Just different logic.
5,000 milliamp. How many charges does that give you? One full charge?
Yeah, maybe one full charge, yeah. Look, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day, it'll get me through a very long day of heavy use of my iPhone. What more do I want?
I'll give you that.
Is it just me, or when you're out and you see your battery below 50%, you sort of start to get a little bit anxious?
Yes, battery anxiety.
So give me a brand. Give me a make.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the show notes because I don't know it off the top of my head. I'll have to check my Amazon order.
I'll hold you to that.
Okay.
We'll look
Not
in the show
Anchor
notes.
Or Belkin or one of Apple's own. Do Apple even do one anymore?
Anchor. I generally will go to Anchor, but there are some other ones that are pretty slim out there. I bought one recently. It's kind of got a nice aluminum finish. It matches the sort of the grays of the phone, and it's actually transparent on the battery pack. You can see the coils. It's really cool. It's very slim.
I hate that.
Yeah.
What's this obsession with making everything see-through so you can see the innards? I don't want to see the innards. Not that I can anyway. Thank you for reminding me, Garth. God, honestly, let it go. But no, I hate the see-through trend. Anyway, okay. Now, I was going to fight against the battery pack, but it makes sense, I suppose. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to be here for hours. That is the givens.
We haven't even got to actual picks yet. This is just the givens.
So we're going to steer away from those because as we just spent 15 minutes probably talking about, that's our givens, and they're all very, very good. But we wanted to try and, think outside the box here. So I don't know if we are going to do that.
Yeah, and provide some things that are gifts for everyone, not just blind individuals, right?
Oh, well, I don't know about that. But okay,
well,
you say
some will apply and some will won't.
If you must.
Anyone want to go first?
Yeah, you know what? I will. And I am going to poo-poo your not for the blind suggestion there, Kayako, because I am going for, and these are almost a given as well, but I've got a different take on these. These are lock dots, or sometimes known as bump-ons. There is a slight difference. Lock dots or bump-ons. Now, would you gift these to someone? I think so, because these are these little tactile bumps, basically, that you stick on things. They're a tactile marker. You get a sheet of them and you stick them to anything. A dot, and they can vary in size and even shape. You can get triangle ones, you can get big, thick domes, or you can get little things that feel like pinheads to stick on things. They're just so useful as a marker. If you want to stick them on the dial of your cooker or your air fryer or whatever it may be, they are fantastic. And I say they're a good gift is because they're so bloody expensive to buy. For a sheet,
really?
Yeah, for a sheet of, 10 or something, it can cost, more than you think it should. I would have thought these would have cost a couple of dollars or a couple of pounds.
I have a trick. What you need to do is don't search for those. Search for rubber feet to protect things like, lamps or any device that need a little soft cushion on a wooden surface. That's what I buy.
But they're huge, surely.
No, they have lots of different sizes. They have small feet, big feet. You just get one with the smallest one, and they work great. And they're only a couple bucks at Amazon.
Okay,
check it out.
Could you really stick a foot on a dial to mark the sort of maximum or a temperature?
Exactly the same thing.
Exactly the same thing. Yeah.
We're talking about a little rubber thing.
I have one on my microwave.
It's sticky on one side.
Okay. That is a great little blind life hack there.
Yep.
Instead of looking for lock dots or bump-ons in your sight organizations or blindness organizations.
So you mean like every other bit of tech, as soon as you put the blind label on it, it goes up by
Yeah, exactly right. That's the blind tax. Yeah.
It's one of those things where I think, I should get a sheet of those, and I look at it and I think, yeah, I'm not spending that much. So that's why
Amazon,
I say
Home Depot,
they're a great gift. With one caveat, though, right? They're great for dials and everything else. And I believe you said you've got one on your cup so you can tell the difference.
We've got, Geordie and I have both got Ember cups, and so we know which one's which. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't drink out of each other's cups. That would be absolutely disgusting.
Well, no, they're hooked up to each other's apps then. So
smart cups, of course.
The temperature.
You're such a tech nerd.
Cups, yeah.
I love you. The caveat being, because people may be listening to this who may have heard me on another show, Double Tap, hello, that I say these are a complete waste of time. Now, the reason I say this is when Stephen puts them all over his keyboard. I hate that. You don't need them on a keyboard. You do not need tactile markers that you add on yourself, let me make that clear, to a keyboard. You don't need them, and I hate it. Every time I use Stephen's keyboard, it's like, oh my God, what's all this stuff on your keys? It's absolutely...
What does any of it mean?
Exactly. Well, there's one for the control, there's one for the function, there's one for F4, F8. You know what? You've got your home key.
Okay,
you can find it.
If I had to put them anywhere on a keyboard, when I first started using Apple products and the F1 through 12, I would have wanted to put one sort of up the top, off the edge of the keyboard between the 4 and 5 and one between the 7 and 8.
I will give you that, actually. I will give you
everywhere else, completely superfluous.
Well, maybe someone should tell that other gentleman on that other show to learn how to touch type. And, the keys are pretty tactile, and you can, most keyboards have a little bump on them that called the home keys, and you can line up your fingers, and once you're there and you know how to touch type, every key is available.
Thank you.
I think it's more of a statement
on
your colleague over there.
Okay.
Oh, well, let's not keyboard shame the poor man.
Okay.
Who knew that was a thing?
Yeah, it's a keyboard shame. Anyway, sorry, there's my slight... I'm just easing into it. I know that's a bit of a blind thing, but I'm easing into it. Say, go on then, Garth.
It makes my tray look not so bad, the whole bump on dots.
Unbelievable, sir. Carry on.
All right, I guess I'll go next then, hey? So my first one is, and I'm not going to be specific to a particular product, but anything from L'Occitane. Now, how you say that properly, I don't know. It's L'Occitane, I think.
Yes.
L'Occitane. So it's a
beauty product.
They make smelly stuff.
So do I.
Especially after some KFC.
So, there's obviously, they've got a number of men's products, and a number of women's products in the sort of cologne / perfume / shower gels, all those sorts of things. But the nice thing is it's just a mainstream product off the shelf, and most of their products come with Braille on them already.
Hooray!
Yay, hooray. So, yeah, and no, look, my favourite, I didn't even realise there was Braille on it when I chose the cologne that I normally use, which is one of theirs, and it wasn't until after, I had that cologne and sort of chose it that I realised, there's Braille on the box. So I thought, bonus.
They are very good at that.
Chad, do you have a favourite cologne?
Yes, I believe it's whatever's cheapest at the supermarket at the time. Yeah. Do you know what?
No, you don't have a particular one.
No, I don't. It's so interesting that I have been searching for, I call it aftershave, for a particular aftershave that I like, because I find them all slightly, I don't really like. I got a Tom Ford one because I thought, let's go a little bit designer, a little bit expensive. I hated it. Just it smelled of that. Tasted.
There's your problem.
But I believe, as we pronounce it, L'Occitane is actually very nice. That's the brand you see in the higher class hotels, along with Molten Brown, that sort of thing. Available on QVC.
Molten Brown.
Molten Brown, texture like sun. Yeah, it's a very nice upper class.
I don't know what Molten Brown is, but
brand.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll jump in with my next pick, and this is cross-platform, aka blind, not blind, and it's something I use every day.
Because now blind people are a platform.
The Yeti insulated cups and water bottles and stuff, I love them. They keep my coffee warm, my hot chocolate warm, and in the summertime they'll keep my ice water cold. I mean, you can put ice in these things and it'll last for like 2 days, keeping your water bottle cool. And they come in lots of different shapes and sizes for whatever you drink. If you want a big one, a small one, a water bottle, a wide mouth one, for whatever you want, check them out. They're very well insulated and they work great.
Question?
Yes.
I'm slightly worried by this because I'm seeing a almost designer level frenzy about water bottles.
And it's a bit weird, isn't it?
It is. Certain brands and certain makes suddenly become, this is a must-have thing.
Yes.
And then you look at the price and it's like $150 and you go, okay, what's going on here? How much is a Yeti?
It's a thermos.
That is a good question. They're a little bit more pricey, but they're not $100. I want to say like maybe $30.
Where's my Safari?
What makes them well is that they actually work. So they're vacuum sealed. They're double layered and there's a vacuum in between it to prevent.
Yeah, but we've had vacuum flasks for like ever.
These essentially are high quality vacuum flasks that really work. I think you'll notice
Thermos.
that some of them are not truly vacuum sealed, like there'll just be an air gap, which still will do the heat. And these are much better. They keep stuff colder longer, in my humble opinion.
They just work.
They just work.
Is what you're saying.
Exactly. They just work. Yeah.
Okay. Well, $30 isn't actually too bad unless that's a thimble size.
It's a normal. It's what I'm using now for my coffee cup, and they've got some nice lids that are magnetic closures and stuff like that. It's just high quality.
Okay, so I've just done a quick Google. Top link. Yeti Rambler, 26 ounces. I don't know what 26 ounces means in modern.
That's a very
speak.
large, like a pint of beer is going to be like 16 ounces.
Stainless steel, navy, blah, blah, blah. $94.
Australian, you're US.
I'm guessing Australian. So we're talking, that's £50.
Yeah, 50 quid.
70 US. 60
That's
US.
quite expensive, but not quite as out there.
Not 150.
Yeah.
No.
I've seen some of the more, as I say, I think it's all about the name. Yeah.
Yeti is a premium brand. It's kind of like Apple. You will know that it'll work and last well. It's not just a little Chinese knockoff type thing. But look, you can find other things. So pick a different one. But I'm just saying an insulated coffee mug that works really well. And I know Yeti is a high quality one that keeps my coffee warm day after day.
I'll give you that.
I like my Ember cup.
Yeah, just what I was going to say, Gareth. Your Ember cup. What are you doing with your life?
What do you mean?
Well, why have you got a smart cup that keeps your coffee warm?
Because it was a present. This is actually why it was a good present.
Yes.
Because they're the sort of thing that you couldn't really justify buying for yourself. One of the key criteria of a good gift is something that, you can't really justify getting it for yourself. But hey, if you got one as a gift, then that's great. And so, that's why I have an Ember cup.
Is such a great point. And kind of what I said about the Lock Dots as well, why I think they're a great gift. Give me a quick description of the Ember.
Well, there's various ones, but the one I have is pretty much the shape and size of a normal coffee cup. The bottom part of the cup, there's a battery, and so you get a couple of hours of it keeping the contents at a certain temperature. And there's an app where you can set, the temperature from a latte, which is one of the lower temperatures, through to a black tea, which is one of the higher ones.
Beautiful. And the app is totally accessible?
Yeah, well, so about that, one of those...
Uh-oh.
It's accessible enough. You have to put on screen description, whatever
screen
it's
recognition.
called, the thing that we were talking in the last episode.
Yes.
That's the one app in which I use that facility.
That's okay. Okay, back to me. Here we go. I'm going to go for mainstream nerdy tech. Sorry, I'm running out already. I'm going to go for, because it's the latest thing I've bought, and it's made a huge difference to my entire life, at least tech life, and that is the Amazon Eero Mesh Wi-Fi router. All right, again, why I'm saying this is a gift is because it's quite bloody expensive to buy for yourself. It's one of those things I keep thinking, yeah, my dodgy internet that cuts out here and there and, upstairs is a little bit iffy. I can live with it because I'm not spending that much money. But I just bought the 3-piece 6E Pro mesh Wi-Fi system from Amazon. I got to say, it's fantastic. My internet is absolutely rock solid in the house right now. And everything just works. Going back to the Yeti, everything just works as it should. I haven't had to restart. I haven't had to do anything. The app is totally accessible. The setup is just incredibly easy. It's one of those set and forget devices. I've got the Google Nest Pro system here, and it wasn't a patch on the Amazon one. So, yeah.
Really?
Really wasn't. No. I mean, the Wi-Fi was okay, but I've got a mixture of Wi-Fi and Ethernet coming out of my various routers. And the Wi-Fi was okay. The Ethernet was absolutely terrible, which is really strange. And I never...
That's bizarre.
Yeah, never figured out why. But I get half the speed if I use the Google Nest Wi-Fi router than I do with this one. So I'm getting 580 megs down over Wi-Fi on this thing. It's amazing. So, yeah, I know it's a little bit techie. It's not out of the box at all thinking. But I've got to say, because, the Wi-Fi router is so important, and this one just really impressed me. Accessible, easy to set up, and it works great. It is around, I got this one on deal, the Amazon deals, whenever it may be, Black Friday or Prime Week or whatever. I think I paid around £380 for 3. Usual price is around 570, so it says. I don't know, I've never bought that. But again, I just bit the bullet and said, you know what, I'm fed up of these internet problems that I'm having, music streaming suddenly stopping and the smart speaker saying, sorry, I cannot help you, there's no internet connection. All that went away as soon as I swapped over to this. It just works, it's great.
That's really cool that you found a product that, one, is accessible, easy to set up, and works really well. That's great.
Yeah. Plus, I should say this as well.
Great.
It also integrates with your Echo smart speakers. So I can't remember the generation, let's say generation 3 and up, any Echoes, they will act as... Who's yawning again? Unbelievable.
Stop it.
God.
I can't help it. It's really late.
Act as repeaters, and any smart speakers will extend your Wi-Fi range. Now it's slightly slower, 100 megabits caps.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
But
it's slow. It's not ideal.
Really
it's
cool.
not ideal because it's really slow.
No, but who
100
cares?
megabits is still not bad.
100 megabits for normal usage, it's totally fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Even for Netflix, 100 megabits is absolutely fine.
I think we're up to you.
I've got a stocking stuffer idea, and this is more of a blindy thing, but it could work for other people. And that is a bag of NFC tags. Just about anyone will work. They come in different sizes and shapes, stickers or, little plastic tags. And why would you want these in your stocking? Well, you can stick them on different things and there's lots of apps out there. NFC Reader is one, for example. But you can program and label things. You don't need any proprietary blind-specific tech like the PenMates or things like that. You just use a simple NFC tag. Write in your notes, your links, whatever you want, and you can label things and put them on anything that you need to be labeled. And you can do it all from the ease of your smartphone and then just touch your NFC reader there and poof.
Question. How? Right, yes, these are incredibly cheap as well. You can get a roll of NFC stickers. Yes.
You take your phone, you run the app which reads and writes. You put the...
Which app?
There's lots of them out there. NFC Reader, I believe, is the one that I have. And
That's
you can
Link in the show
yeah,
notes.
this is vitally important. As you said, there's so many out there. We want to know which one's accessible, which one's easy to use.
Okay, I will put the link in the show notes.
Thank you.
And you can put a URL, put a series shortcut, or you could do. You can become more sophisticated with your programming, but at the very simplest level, it'll just pop up a URL or pop up some text that'll just speak every time you put your phone near it. And
not even just pop up a URL. It may even just open the website when you tap your phone. So basically how it works is you just tap. The NFC reader is usually at the top of the phone, I believe. Android and
it's near the
iPhone.
camera. Near the camera.
Yeah. And you just tap your phone. Well, not even, doesn't have to make contact even. Swipe your phone near the tag and let's say it's a URL, the website will open up, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But more importantly, as you mentioned, if you do an Apple shortcut, you could do it to anything, really. It could trigger a smart home routine. It could do anything.
Yeah. Now, often you have to be running the app to get the tag, but sometimes if you do the shortcuts and program it into the Apple Shortcuts app and that's the action, then it'll just, you don't even need to open up an app. It'll poof, launch and go. But it's worth experimenting. And if you're doing labeling, if you have like spices or, anything like that you need information on, jars, cans, whatever, instructions for stuff, just label it with an NFC tag. Relatively inexpensive.
Have you found an NFC tag that you can put into clothing easily that will survive washing and the like?
I have not. I'm sure there's got to be something that exists like that. I have not found anything. Yeah. I don't use it for that.
They do exist, and I can thank Double Tap listener, I believe it was Negative Julian, who let me know about. He used NFC buttons, which he sews into his...
Negative Julian?
Wow. Negative Julian, he's a long-time listener to Double Tap. Hello, Negative Julian, if you're listening. But yeah, I believe it was him that said about the NFC tags he puts on his clothes for exactly that. And you can obviously wash them. They go through a washing machine with no problem. And they work really well. And you can tag your clothes.
Is this my green shirt or my blue shirt? Yeah, that'd be really quite handy.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I guess it's back to me again. And so my second one is the Chipolo tags, or I don't know what exactly they're called. CHIPOLO. And there's various versions of these things that you can find on Amazon. But basically, Apple AirTags, so really handy for, I know I've got one on my guide dog, I've got one in various places. But if you've played with an AirTag, you know that they're kind of fat. They're kind of, they're too big, basically, they're too big to put in your wallet conveniently. And so there's a couple of different manufacturers that make sort of credit card sized, effectively, AirTags. So they work in the Find My app, sort of totally integrated with the Find My system, but nice and thin. And yeah, you can just stick one in your wallet.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And I guess we should probably throw in that, AirTags are also just equally good sometimes if you want that.
Absolutely.
As well. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Good. AirTags are almost on that list of
obvious ones,
default obvious things. And I think just the Chipolo is sort of the one that you can easily fit in your wallet if you still in fact have a wallet, that is. But something that doesn't take up quite as much space as an AirTag does.
Great. Sean, anything left on your list?
No, you know what? Actually, I have got something else. Again, not really from left field here, but I'm going to say a lanyard. There, I've said it. Now, you can yawn.
Oh, my God.
No, wait. Shut up, Garth. Shut up and wait. Shut up. Now, lanyards have been a thing for the longest time, and I've always pushed back against the lanyard. I said no to the lanyard. What's the point of a lanyard? Who cares, right? But I recently have been traveling around, and I've been using an app called Good Maps. Good Maps. And it's changed my life. It's absolutely amazing, right? The thing is, it uses the camera to locate where you are and then guide you through, in my case, a train station. It's for indoor mapping. It works incredibly well. I was a little bit, we've heard about this sort of technology before. But I used it at a train station I'd never been in before, and it guided me all the way through, down steps, and to the platform to my train, all on my own, no assistance needed. It blew me away.
Wow.
It sounds like the recommendation here is actually good maps rather than...
It is, no.
But anyway.
It absolutely is. I'm now their biggest, I'm a good maps evangelist because I just think, let's map the world because it's absolutely fantastic, the technology behind it. You don't need anything but your phone, right? But the point is, you got to hold it out in front of you. And as we kind of mentioned with the Be My Eyes and the Meta Ray-Bans, it makes a huge difference just holding that phone out. You got your cane, you got your backpack if you're Garth, and you're traveling around. Holding that phone in front of you is a pain. And I actually, as soon as I used that for the first time, I went straight on the internet and ordered myself a lanyard because just being able to put it around your neck and have it, through the earbuds that I was wearing, actually it was through my Meta glasses, telling me, left a bit, right a bit, continue on, steps coming up. Just wearing it around your neck and going hands-free would make this just absolutely perfect. I just honestly think it's that good. So yeah, I suppose I'm going to recommend a combination here. Good Maps, the app, and also a lanyard. Now, when it comes down to which lanyard, I'm going to struggle a bit because the one I bought and most of the ones I saw on Amazon were fairly cheap. I think it was around £7, the one I bought. And it was a case specific for my make and model of phone. But the lanyard was at the bottom. So when it hung around your neck, you could lift it up and start using it, for those sighties out there, which makes total sense. But for us, obviously, if I just wanted to switch it around and use the camera, rear-facing camera, it's upside down. Now, I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I had to do a little bit of self-modification to the lanyard to make it work. But I haven't tried it out yet. But I've got to say, I think that is going to be so useful. I did just put the phone in my chest pocket of my coat, and that worked absolutely fine. But I'm always paranoid that someone's just going to walk past and just go, I'll take that, and yoink it out of my pocket.
I love that.
Yeah, exactly. So you would just want for just a little bit of security as well as convenience. I'm going to say a lanyard. I know one in the community that I've heard a lot of people talk good things about is it the Slinger? I believe you can get that from AT Guys, the beautiful people at AT Guys. I've been quite dismissive of the Slinger because it actually just sticks to the back of the case you've already got. It's adhesive. So you got the lanyard bit, which is adjustable, which is great, but it just sticks to the phone case. So I'm never quite sure. Would I trust that for not just suddenly, falling off? But I'm saying this with having no experience of it, and I know lots of people actually love the Slinger. So yeah, that's the only one I can really recommend at the moment.
Well, I will throw in one little caveat, and this is something that I used to use out on the water kayaking. They also make bags that are waterproof bags that seal your phone, and they're transparent, and you can use the touchscreen through it. So you might want to consider something like that where you just wear it around your neck and drop it in a transparent, water protective bag. And that also works quite nicely as a lanyard solution.
Hang on. How do you hang a bag around your neck?
Well, it's a specific, it's a waterproof lanyard, basically. It's designed for when you're out in the water and stuff, so you can protect your phone or camera. It's a transparent bag. It's got a seal at the top, like a little Ziploc screw thing. And there's a rope around it. So it is a lanyard, but instead of a case where you stick it in, it's a clear bag.
It's a bag. Yeah.
Oh, that's very good.
Back before phones were waterproof.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, plus you could use any phone in there. I'm just
Yeah. There's no.
And what's nice about that is you don't have to
worry.
worry about the attachment point, so it's not upside down or something like that. You can put it in the right orientation, and you can still use your its capacitance enough so you can still activate the touchscreen through the bag.
But does it not move around inside the bag because it's not being held in place?
It can, but gravity is a good thing, so it rests in the bottom of the bag.
I guess as long as you like it in landscape.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, I suppose so.
It's not. They have different sizes for different size phones, so you can get the right one.
With good maps,
Yes.
Sean, they obviously, presumably, and they have to pre-map that
Absolutely
particular
correct,
location.
yes.
Yeah. And what sort of rollout is there of how much have they done? Where were you that it happened to have good maps?
Yes, this is the thing. This is the thing with all of these indoor navigation solutions is, we're just waiting for the companies or organizations to approach us and say, yeah, we'll pay to get our place mapped. But here in the UK, at least, I'm not going to say every, but I mean, the vast majority of train stations are mapped.
Okay.
I don't know what else is
right.
mapped, and I know they were working trying to get hospitals mapped, but there were some issues there.
My goodness, that would be great because they're bloody awful to find
absolutely.
your way
Yeah,
around.
even trying to get assistance in a hospital is an absolute. Well, I don't know if there's anyone available, but the point is, right now I'm using it and for the train stations, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Hey, that's a solution for that anyway, and that's great.
Hopefully other places will use it, because honestly, it's the first time that I didn't have assistance, and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to try it, and it just works. It's one of those, oh my God, this is working. I'm not falling down or off a platform or anything, and it was great.
That's wonderful.
My last pick is something that's apparently everyone knows about, but I didn't know about it until recently, and it's again cross-platform, sighted, non-sighted, and it's a goofy thing, and it's just called Bop It. It's the little bop it and twist it and thing. It's the little game thing that's fun. You can play with one or multiple players. You guys heard of that one? Bop It?
Yes, about 20 years ago. Bop It,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep. Yes, that's like I said. It's like new to me. Yeah,
Okay.
so you can teach an old dog new tricks. So
You've never, okay,
it out.
so this is a physical, I'm going to say toy, but
it
toys
is a
for
toy.
adults
Yep.
as well,
Yep.
who were. And it actually totally accessible because it shouts out what you need to do. There's various areas on the thing, and bop it, you bang the button, twist it, you twist the handle.
Yeah.
There's different versions. Flick it. What else does it do? Pull it.
Oh, you said flick it, didn't you? Not lick
No,
it.
I think
not
he said
lick it. I think that's a different version. I haven't got that one.
that's the adult Bop It.
No, but we went crazy.
Twist it.
Stop it. It's great for the family, unless you're Garth, obviously. It's a great game. It's one of those games that you can actually all play, and you don't stop it, Garth. Stop it. You don't feel like you're just sort of taking part for the right. Stop it.
I'm trying.
I agree. Bop It is great.
Okay. Well, on that note, my final pick is a Lush subscription.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
there was a long silence there.
Lush.
In case that silence is cut out in the edit, let me just assure our listeners we were as stunned as you. Yes, okay.
So Lush, and if you're not aware of who Lush is, look, as I said, you guys are going to do all the sort of boyy techie picks. So I was trying to do a little bit non-boyy
I
techie
like it.
picks. And so Lush is a English company, I think, actually, who make sort of smelly stuff. So bath bombs and moisturizers and shower gels. And actually, if you go back in this feed long enough, you'll find an episode of Words that Geordie and I did called Aramac, which is sort of that when you're walking through a shopping centre and you're lost, and then you walk past a particular store that you know the smell of, like Lush, or like one of the major department stores that have the perfume cans out the front, and you suddenly get this fragrance. Now I know where I am in this
Miss
shopping
Millie's
centre.
cookies for me in all shopping malls. Yes.
Okay, yeah. It doesn't matter what the store is, but the term for that, the blindy term for that, is an Aramac. Go back and listen to Words episodes.
Very good.
Anyway, Lush have a monthly subscription box that you can get called the Kitchen Box, I think. And basically you get pre-release products, or, you get this box of stuff that you don't know what's going to be in there each month sent out to you. And quite often the things that you get in there, you can only get in that box, or the stuff they're trialing. And there's normally, 5 or 6 products in there. And so for that person in your life that will appreciate that sort of thing, really nice gift to get.
Nice.
I like that one. Very nice. Well, you know what? I'm going to chuck a few things in here that's just sort of random. I think I saw something on social media a while ago, and I may have even mentioned it before. I still think this is a fantastic idea, but I haven't actually done it yet. I've seen someone say, I wish I could remember who said this, that they use LED wristbands in restaurants. Have I mentioned this before? I'm sure I have.
No.
Have you ever been in a restaurant and like you want to get the waiter's attention? Ah, man, nightmare, right? You're listening out, are they coming by? I can hear them talking somewhere else. And
yes.
you start, putting your hand up a little bit and maybe doing a little bit of a wave or excuse me into
Trying to look
the ether.
where you think they are to pretend that you can catch their eye.
Yes, trying to make no eye contact is difficult.
Exactly.
And they said, what we do is we've bought a pair of these LED wristbands. So just think of your normal, I don't know, friendship wristbands or something, but they have an LED light in them.
Right.
And you turn them on. So when we go to a restaurant, we say to the waitress or waiter is, if you see the light on, it means we want you. We'd like
some
exactly.
assistance.
We need
Brilliant.
you to come over to
my
the table.
goodness.
And I thought that is a fantastic idea because that is such a the amount of times I've been finished a meal and just been sat there. It feels like hours. All right, I'm ready for the bill. I want to go. I think that's just a fantastic idea. I did have a look on Amazon, and there's obviously quite a few of these available, and they don't cost much, a few dollars. And
if you have an Apple Watch that's sort of built into that as well, because
exactly.
it has a torch facility, but it would be so freaking bright that you probably wouldn't want
you could do the
that.
same
It's
thing
like
with your
something
iPhone,
subtle to
turning
just
the
flash or
torch on.
something. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, but either way, I just thought, you know what, that is a great tip. So I'm going to say the wristbands. I'm also going to throw air fryers in there. Talking of restaurants and eating, I got to say air fryers.
absolutely.
They are.
Who doesn't love an air
Look,
fryer?
air fryers are just sort of, everyone bores you to death about how great the air fryer is.
Can we just call it a convection oven?
But yes, exactly. It's the same
Thank
thing.
you.
Heat with a fan built in.
It's a small hot
Yes,
oven, yes,
but-
exactly.
Oh, man. It makes it so much easier. It's so much safer to use. I just think they're fantastic. I love the air fryer. And you can get a talking one, at least here in the UK. Email Cobalt Systems if you want it outside of the UK. Tell them. You can get a talking one. Both a single basket and a dual basket version are now available from Cobalt. Thank you.
Very nice.
A dual basket.
Well, there you go. I think those are our ideas. But I have one surprise to throw at you that I didn't warn you about ahead of time.
Oh,
Are you ready, gentlemen?
Okay.
I'm ready.
Here's the
Sitting
question. What do you hope to get for the holiday gift, if for Christmas or Boxing Day? What do you hope to receive? What's on your list? One thing.
Wow. Okay. I haven't even thought about it. I'll be totally honest with you. I kind of want to say an Amazon gift card. But, okay, give me a second. I'll think of
20-piece
something.
bucket from KFC.
Okay.
You joke, but I think I got that from one of my birthdays. Was the party bucket.
I remember that, yeah.
Nearly killed me, but God, it was worth it.
I'm not too sure how to answer that one, but I'll tell you what I'm going to get myself
Okay. Well,
come Black Friday. And this is where I need your assistance. I'm going to get one of the new Macs. And I'm tossing up, the new M4 chip. Look, I'm still using Intel. I've got an Intel MacBook Air and an Intel Mac Mini. Well overdue for upgrading. And I think this is the year that I'm finally going to do it. But obviously the M4 Mac Airs aren't out yet. They won't be until probably mid next year. Do I get one of the new Mac Minis? Do I just go straight for a MacBook Pro and just have the one computer? Do I get a Mac Mini now and wait for a MacBook Air later on? I don't know. I'm just really in a quandary. The other thing is the automatic response from any geek is to go, I don't just need the M4, I need the M4 Pro. But I don't.
No
I
one
really
does,
don't.
unless you do
This
really
year.
full video edit. But you're not going to push it. My recommendation would be just get the entry-level Mac Mini. And now that they've upped the RAM to 16 gigs, it's an acceptable level. Back when it was 8, I would not recommend that. But even a 16 gig 256 Mac Mini, it is so inexpensive.
No.
Just get the external.
It's so
just
cheap.
get an external storage if you need it. Attach it. It'll be fast.
No. I think I'll need to get at least a 512. But what I think I'm probably going to end up doing is spending a little bit more money and paying the ridiculous Apple taxes and getting a Pro, a Mac, not a M4 Pro, but a MacBook
Pro. Yeah.
Pro, and using it like I've been using my Mac Mini basically, because I still do like and quite often use my Mac away from my desk, my MacBook Air. Rather than getting the Mini and the Air, just getting the One Pro that I use for both, keeping it to the M4, upping the RAM a little bit and upping the hard drive a little bit just to give me a bit more headroom there, because I think for most of what I do, like the single core performance on the M4 versus the M4 Pro is exactly the same anyway. For most of what I do, I think I'll be super happy, and that will last me another 5 to 6, 7 years.
Ooh. What it comes down to, because the Mac Mini is incredible, right? It's such good value for money, surprisingly enough.
Absolutely.
But for the bang for buck,
really
it's
is.
absolutely amazing. So what it comes down to is, do you need something in situ or do you need something you can take with you? And that's the only thing you need to think about.
See, at the moment, I'm mostly using in situ, but I have the MacBook Air, which is super capable as well, and I use it away from the desk a lot.
Quick question
as well.
for
So
you,
I'm
Garth.
using
Do you
both.
use it away in your house? Because I'll tell you one thing that you can do.
In-house and out of house. Yeah.
There's a Bluetooth headphones and Bluetooth keyboard, and that's your portable. If you're if you're in your house and relatively close, it's like having a laptop, because you're
Mac wherever
with
you
the
are.
Mini. Yeah.
Take
a
your
keyboard and
with you
headphones, and you've got
yeah.
access to it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is true.
All right.
That's a good
Good luck
point.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Sean? Have you given any thought? Like, what do you hope to get?
I'm racking my brain, honestly. Do you know what? I'm just happy with everything I've got right now. I just wish for love and peace and, you know what? The company of good friends, Kayak and Garth. That's all I want for Christmas. Obviously, I couldn't think of anything. What about you, Kayaker? What do you want for yourself?
Throwing it back at me. I'm a sucker for anything consumable. So, good scotch, good bottle of wine. But if I had a silly thing that I would get, there's the Sideways Innovations lightsaber cane.
I've
my
seen
goodness.
that.
That is
Actually
hilarious.
made from lightsabers.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a cane that looks like a lightsaber. So yeah, that might be it for me.
Because lightsabers are a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are a thing, apparently, Garth. Don't go into it too deeply.
All right.
That is hilarious. Does it, as long as it goes
Exactly. Yep.
each time you tap the ground.
Oh, actually,
good.
Yeah.
I think I want one of those
There you
as
go.
well. That's quite cool. That and a
Okay.
glide.
Oh, that's what we need. Oh gosh, what was the Doctor Who dog called?
K9.
K9, obviously.
Canine. That's what we need. Is a canine glide. Glide shaped like canine.
The glide dog. Hey!
The glide dog. Exactly.
Well, I think that sort of wraps up our holiday edition.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening, and I hope that whatever you get this Christmas, it's something that you're happy with, and that you're able to find something that you're happy giving.
Or whatever your holiday tradition is, whether it's just being around friends, family, and enjoying a glass of wine or whatever. Have a wonderful holiday season.
May you mull your wine, not your cider.
Absolutely. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, no.
I
Don't
can't.
do Yoda. Stop it. Oh, no.
What?
You triggered him into Yoda.
Go.
Recording. There we
Or in
go.
my case, session started.
All right. Turning down Mac volume.
Pizza in session.
Pizza in session, yes.
Thank you.
Pizza is now in session.
Nice pizza would be quite good.
I didn't like that. Can I just say, I just want to put it down on record. 2-1 go. I mean, that doesn't work in any sense. At least 3-2-1.
No one starts with 2.
Look, everyone stop their recordings.
no,
Start
we're
again.
fine. We're fine. Jeez.
So
But,
you
you
know,
know-
it worked. He's saying that it worked.
I'm saying that Sean's got his job back for next month. That's what I'm saying.
Ha!
Right.
Thank you.
I could have done 3-2-1 because that's what I really think it should be. But, I was just trying to make up for the lost time last month and started, skip.
Yeah, but this
3-1,
ramble we've had
3-1.
since that countdown sort of negates that time-saving factor, Garth. Kayaka, over to you. It's Christmas. Keep it jolly, will you? All right?
Bah, humbug.
No snickering.
Now I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, fuck.
Ah, the
Just kidding.
anticipation.
I'm just going to have another drink of port.
Okay, hold on. Let me take
Another
one more sip of
port.
coffee and I'll be ready to go.
All right, I'm having a Diet Coke. Garth's having a port. Just for the listeners so they know.
Yep. You have Diet Coke, coffee, Diet Coke, port. It sort of takes you through the day. This is where we are.
It kind of takes us through our
Kayaka's in the morning.
our
Sean's
social
in the middle
status.
of the day and I'm in the
really.
evening.
No, Garth's right posh. I'm common
No,
as
I
muck.
don't know that. No.
Okay.
It's a completely
Kayaka's
different reading
sophisticated.
of the situation.
Have you remembered now,
Kayaka?
Kayaka?
Yeah, I kind of know where I'm
It's all
going
about
with
the
this.
time of day.
Okay.
Right.
Time of day.
Okay. Ready?
Oh, we're supposed to say yes? Because yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you put some jingle bells behind the intro music, please, Garth? Thank
they're
you.
going to be out of key.
Just bang it on there and shut up.
Are we ready for the main? Are we ready to go? This is going to be
Yeah,
easy.
we're
okay.
waiting.
All right.
God,
All right,
get on with it.
Kayaka. God,
Jesus.
it's Christmas.
Bloody hell. A little patience, mate.
And 3, 2, 1, Kayaka. Fine. Google Nest 6E Pro Mesh System, which is quite similar, but who yawned then? Did someone yawn? Unbelievable.
It's like midnight here, mate.
Well,
Give me a
I'm sorry. Just, mute.
Stop it. I'm just going to have to cut more out now.
Unbelievable.
Just keep on going.
Anyway, sorry.
Just don't laugh as you come back in because it'll make it the edit.
Well, good. I want you to keep this in to show your disrespect, Garth. I'm not going to laugh. Hang on.